can begin. Welcome everyone. I'm just like, tonight is beautiful. So this is like such an honour for me to stand beside my fellow doTERRA brother, Adam Barralet. He has been dancing in this realm of essential oils and aromatherapy, as well as crystals and all things gifts of the earth, for a long time, over 20 years, so very much like me. So between us both, we have around 40 years of yumminess before you. And tonight is very much about you connecting with your own yumminess as well, your wisdom also, because we want to take a deep dive into the spirit of the oils and have a little dance about that realm of blending to support us out of those contracted states into the expansion, to help us to dissolve fears that just really don't even serve us, a story that doesn't serve us. How many of you are running a story that you just don't even know where it came from anymore? You just don't even remember. Anyone? Yeah, right? So let's take a little deep dive into that as well so that we can dissolve that. But this is super fun for me because Adam has the most beautiful perspectives and magical perspectives on the oils and what they bring. So we're going to have a play with you. We'll maybe dance in the angelic realm a little bit and whatever else comes through. Are you open to us just...
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. Anytime you have questions, just holler, let us know. Any input you'd like to offer. And if someone has a question where they're feeling like, you know, what oils could I use to support me, and you're feeling something really strongly, please contribute. We'd love to have you contribute as well, because everyone's wisdom is profound, right? And all we need to do is believe in it and believe in ourselves. So hopefully tonight we'll come closer to that. The beautiful cards that we started with, Treasures Within, you can buy them from essentialoilsupplies.co.uk. Vivian's beautiful. She does gorgeous work there, her and her team. I absolutely love how, you know, they're decorated. It's so simple. Affirmations and oils. It's gorgeous. So if you want to receive some of that in your own life, you know where to go as well. So let's begin.
When should we start tonight?
Maybe let's begin with a little meditation.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So what we'll do is, if you all close your eyes and hold out your hand, while Adam starts to journey you through a meditation, I'm going to anoint your palm, this beautiful energy center.
If you like, if you haven't seen what Vanessa's actually giving, just, you know, sometimes names, we start choosing what it means. Just see what your own experience with it is. So just allow Vanessa to roll it on your own hands and just breathe it in.
Rub your hands together.
Rub your hands together and then cup them over your face and breathe in a few deep breaths. Allow yourselves just to fall into the moment. And just like you're sitting there in front of a lover, just fall totally into being with that aroma. Breathe it deep in, allowing all else to disappear. Forgetting about the day, forgetting about the rush to get here, not worrying about what you have to do after now. And if you were sitting with that oil, what would it say to you? What was a person? What would it look like? Is it a person? Possibly a plant? An animal? Just allow that aroma to manifest into a physical form. If that aroma was to have one message for you, what would it tell you? What's this little lover's secret that's going to whisper in your ear for no one else to hear? Take a nice deep breath in, drawing in that scent. not only noticing what the message is, but how it makes you feel. Is it a comforting message? Or a confrontational message? Because our feelings are just there to guide us along our path. Letting us know when it feels good, we're heading in the right direction. And when it doesn't feel good, something just needs some attention to get back in the right direction. Take a nice final deep breath into that oil. And when you're ready, you start to exhale. Just allow your eyes to slowly come back into the room. How do we feel with that oil? Do you want to share? It comes up?
It's magnolia.
It's magnolia, yeah.
It's actually the one oil in the reject that it's like kind of too sweet.
Yeah. How about anyone else? Is that anyone's first time smelling that oil? Yeah, a few of you. Awesome. How do you feel about it?
Sweet.
Yeah.
I think it's calm.
Calming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All is good.
Yeah.
Energy.
Gorgeous.
I got like peace and love when I was smelling.
Peace and love.
So I feel,
Gorgeous.
See, one of the really interesting things about magnolia is it's a very old species of tree. It's been around for about 95 million years. So around before bees, you used to use beetles to pollinate it. And so whereas we think of those other flowers, you know, a rose or a neroli or a jasmine, and that real kind of, they're like a queen. They've got that real feminine energy. To me, magnolia comes in and, you know, some of the words you're saying, she's more like their grandmother. She's the queen mother. So she's just got that wisdom, and she doesn't need to be that centre of attention. But just because she's not the centre of attention doesn't mean she's less powerful. Sometimes, you know, the one in the centre is just the kind of the figurehead, and it's people behind to do the work. So magnolia, she is like that grandmother, and you know.
She's that Kuan Yin energy.
Kuan Yin,
Do you want to talk a little bit about Kuan Yin? Like, it was really funny when I first used her. I so felt Kuan Yin knew me, and I think it was our monthly event.
Yeah.
He mentioned Kuan Yin, and it's a place we can turn to remember that we are beings of love, and that unconditional love, that compassion. When we step into those places, we have acceptance and understanding, don't we? We have peace wash over us. So do you want to talk a little bit?
You know, one thing I love to with working with magnolia is to combine it with either one of the furs or with forgive. And you know, magnolia for me is definitely a lovely one to use at the end of the evening, because we, you know, a lot of the time we haven't been out at our best, and we beat ourselves up about that. And for me, forgive is like walking through that green forest. And you know when you go outside and walk through a forest, what do? And how we breathe tells all the rest of our body how we're actually doing, how we're feeling. And so as we breathe more, and as we breathe in that forgive, we let that go. And then it's like you're walking through the forest, and suddenly there's this beautiful flower. And that's magnolia. It's going back to that in the middle of the forest. It's that love. That love that's been there for a long, long time. And will continue to be there for a long, long time. And so, regardless of what you do, magnolia is still going to be there. So it's a real nice kind of constant reminder.
Yeah, and I love that you've matched her with the forgive as well, because forgive has these protective trees in there also, you know, like the nectar tree. And I feel like when we dance with the trees and we take the flower and we marry them with trees, there's this sense of protection that I feel with that. And I've got your back. You know, together we can get through this. Magnolia has this beautiful sensual presence also. And as we kind of dance in this life, when we can really become more in touch with our sensuality as the sensual moving beings, artists that we are in life, something changes. So magnolia works so beautifully opening this heart center. And if you think about the magnolia flower with those big like waxen petals, aren't they? And then they just open. And you look inside, and it's like, what do you see? What does she tell you? What does she sing to you? And for me, it's like this heart song coming in with a deep, deep wisdom that comes down here somewhere, right? And when you marry her with something like rose and myrrh, and this is great for men as well, this is that ancient wisdom, right? So for women, it's what we really recognize as our sacred womb energy. And for men, it's your creation space as well. It's like it's so obvious for us, you know, this womb that we create life in, but you men have that too. You men have this life force within you waiting to be unleashed. So myrrh is like that ancient, if you want to pass the myrrh around, that ancient crone mama medicine, and that energy comes in. And she reminds you that you have everything you need within you. You don't need to look without anymore. And I love bringing her in with the magnolia and the rose, because we've got that marriage with the unconditional heart. So it brings us back to self-love, respect, self-respect, right? And self-acceptance. These are huge. And that little interlude there with forgive coming in, I love that, because often to get into that place of returning to love, where do we need to go? A place of relinquishing the need to beat up on ourselves so much. And forgive does that so beautifully. Such a gorgeous blend. So we've passed the 5 ml bottle around so you can diffuse it as well as put it on you. You know, you could do an aromatic dressing of the forgive, a couple of drops of forgive in 10 mils of carrier oil. And then you can take the magnolia and layer. And this is really beautiful. I'd love to go into layering a little with you tonight. And you take that magnolia touch. Now it's the magnolia essential oil already suspended in a carrier oil, okay? So we have that coconut oil, the fractionated coconut oil. There are so many carrier oils. Apricot kernel, jojoba, which is a beautiful fluid wax. There are many out there. Now, what you can do is you can layer the magnolia over your heart. I love it around the eyes, all around here and massaged in. And I just say a little prayer like, may I see what is true. It's in a carrier oil and it's very gentle. So if you just run it along the cheekbones here, and then with your fingers just massage it around the eyes, and it's beautiful skin support as well. And then, like I said, over my heart, but also from my wrist point all the way up my arm, and then just massaging it up. And this is that lung meridian, the heart, the triple warmer. You know, you can just really work with this so beautifully up either arm, right? I also love magnolia for sleep time because she is very calming and soothing. So behind the neck, behind the ears, swiped under my nose. It's really beautiful. Again, my eyes I'll do before sleep. My wrists and my hands, and I'll just breathe it in and I will layer it with the peace. So peace touch is what I keep by my bedstand. And I lay a piece over me anytime I wake up, and I love to diffuse it. I'm going to pass both the 5 ml and the roller. Because the 5 ml, you can again, like I suggested for the forgive, you can aromatically dress over your whole body with the piece, right? Whereas the piece touch is for your layering. So if you love an aromatic dressing blend for sleep, something like vetiver, cedarwood and lavender, right? Then you can take the piece touch, the roller, and layer it over. And you can have it by your bedstand and just be layering and smelling it. Does anyone wake up at night and feel they can't fall asleep, or find that they're a bit stressy before sleep? Yeah, so there's some hands up. I'm just going to put this over there, I'm getting hot now. So the piece is really beautiful for this. It's very stilling and calming. And the vetiver that's in there is a very grounding essential oil. It comes from the roots of a grass found in Haiti. It works amazingly with calming the brain. It's so beautiful with stilling the mind. That monkey that sits on our back, or those 64,000 thoughts that run through our mind all day, every day on repeat, right? And most of them, as you know, are the same thoughts if you have mindfulness around it. So the magnolia and the peace are very good at soothing us, nurturing us, comforting us.
So when it comes to the heart, another oil is really interesting with the new oils that they released this year. One that I'm a big fan of at the moment is pink pepper, which has a very different kind of feel for the heart. So many of you would be familiar with black pepper. And black pepper, our friend Amanda Porter talks about it being about stripping away those aspects of ourselves that aren't truly us. So, when we're a child, you're suddenly told, good girls don't scream, or, bad girls don't make a mess of their room. And so we start learning that to be a certain way, or to be accepted, we have to kind of cull behaviours, and we stop different things like that. Like the example I always like to give is why we wear clothes. Did you think about putting clothing on today, or did we just put it on? It's not going to turn into a nudist retreat today or anything like that. And that's an example that you can turn the camera off now. That is because naturally though that we put clothes on every day. Like there are probably days when we don't need to. The weather was lovely today. Did we really need clothes? Probably just put them on because of that type of thing. But that's an example of how we just start to censor ourselves and behave in certain ways. So black pepper is good for stripping away that type of behaviour overall. Pink pepper, although they are very different species of plants, comes straight into the heart. It's about stripping away the rubbish and the bollocks that we have around the heart, about what love should be. So who believes in unconditional love? Who loves their partner unconditionally?
Sorry, that wasn't supposed to be auditory.
Because we say we love our partner unconditionally, but if you went home tonight and they'd burnt down your house and killed your cat, would you still love them? And again, I'm using extreme examples, but a lot of the time, we do have conditions on our love. We get home and they bloody haven't done the dishes, and we get upset. Is that unconditional love? So pink pepper is a really good one for stripping away what truly is love. Because what happens, the more we can release those expectations we have on other people, what freedom does that grant us? To be who we truly are. And so like black pepper helps us strip away so we don't have to put on these masks and facades. Pink pepper is really an oil of unconditional love. For going, hey, I love you regardless of what. And sticking with the new oils, putting that in with green mandarin.
I was just going to say, can you talk on this?
Yeah.
And then I want you to follow up with rose, because I'm loving aromatically dressing with green mandarin and pink pepper and a little bit of yarrow pom, and then I'm layering and shimmying with some rose by day. It's like so yummy. So yes, tell us about green mandarin.
So not only are they great in water together, as Vanessa likes, but one of the growers talks about the really interesting thing about the mandarin oil is you get 3 different mandarin oils. So we get the green mandarin, which is obviously the unripe. We get the yellow mandarin, which doTERRA hasn't done yet, but me and Vanessa will work on that. And then there's red mandarin. So you get the half ripe and then the full ripe. So, and one of the growers who grows mandarin gave this beautiful story that just the fruit is like the journey of a woman. With the green mandarin being like the young girl, ripe, full of potential, a whole life ahead of her. Yellow is that mother energy, kind of going through, growing, learning. And that red mandarin is that crone energy, or that older woman.
Yeah, I love that.
So what happens, but each of these mandarins still very playful. And so it carries that joyousness of being playful throughout our life.
Yes.
So green mandarin is beautiful to bring in with that pink, because how unconditional are kids with their love?
So
Kids aren't born racist or discriminating or all those different things. We pick that up, they pick up all this conditioning. And green mandarin with the pink pepper will work really, really nicely to open up that heart.
And what's really beautiful is like, it's like 70% of mandarin now that's saved, right? Because what happens is they to harvest the red mandarin, right, the normal mandarins, they need to remove 70% of the mandarins, and they remove them while they're green so that the remaining 30% really flourish. So they've now saved that. They're using it for something. Isn't that incredible? And it's making this exquisite essential oil. And the pink pepper, you guys, can I share something really beautiful that I love about this? The Cohen Peck story. So the pink pepper is saving women's lives right now. Because I want to remind us all that to judge and then to not judge, it's equally as difficult, isn't it? Because when we're in a place of judgment, things contract in us. When we're trying not to judge, it can be really difficult because it's become such a pattern, right? A habit. So we heard stories at convention about different ladies and what they now need to do in order to feed themselves, their children, look after their children, stay in a dwelling, right? And one of the stories of the lady was so touching, and her husband had passed away, and she was left to look after the family. And she made rope out of recycling plastic, is that right? Or recycling?
No.
Reeds. She was doing them with reeds, but after a while no one else needed them. So she was told when she went back to sell more by the men there, no, we don't need any more ropes, but there's something else we would give you money for, right? So for me, when I drop into this, for my children, I would do anything. Absolutely anything. So that's what she did. She did that anything. And did she enjoy it? No, but she did it. It's that moment. It's that moment of truth for us, isn't it? Would we really? And there's a beautiful man there who is helping to free women from what they believe is the only choice they can make, into having them participate with him in this beautiful co-creation process of harvesting the pink pepper. So that's what they're doing. They're climbing the trees and they're harvesting the pink pepper, and now they're being paid for that instead of something they really don't want to be doing. So there's other women joining in this as well. Isn't that gorgeous? So it's like every time we buy pink pepper, we are supporting this expansion, this empowerment, this illumination, this new way of being, right? There are so many stories that touch us all so deeply. You know, wintergreen in Nepal and vetiver in Haiti. You know, the spirit of the oils is so deep. They carry with them such a profound story. And these 7 owners work tirelessly to bring not only the best essential oils to us, but the best possible life to the people who are growing and nurturing and loving these gifts of the earth, to the people who harvest them, right? We now, together as a family, as this heartbeat of a community, are making a difference. And doesn't it feel good? Because we're all here as we take a deep dive into a class like this. It's not just about oils ever, is it? This is about that deep honouring of Mother Earth. That deep honouring. And Rose does this so beautifully. Like, she reminds us so beautifully. So beautifully. And you can combine it with some spikenard and, you know, green mandarine and frankincense if you want, and come into a place of gratitude. I love layering her after my aromatic dressings. And can you imagine you're aromatically dressing yourself, say in the yarrow palm and green mandarin and pink pepper, right? And you've aromatically dressed and you've given yourself maybe some beautiful affirmations, or maybe you've just come into your grateful heart for those amazing harvesters, to Mama Earth for filling these essential oils with her wholesomeness, right? And then you layer with Rose. And you just ask. Ask to be open, ask to stand in receivership of life and all her gifts. Let the blossom of your heart, that little bud there, let that really blossom. Let that open, let it fully bloom, right? As you stand in full receivership of life. You know, your soul and Creator had big plans for you. It's like, you know, Rose and Magnolia as well, it's an invitation to step forward into that, right? And then if you want to just mix things up a little, take the neroli. right? And that orange blossom, one of my favorites too. I can see lots of them. I was ecstatic when doTERRA released this. So Rose and Jasmine, I was like singing, and when they said neroli, I was just like, pull, pull, pull. You know what's really beautiful? Take her and roll her up and down your spine, you guys. Up and down your spine, up behind your neck, over your heart as well. I love layering rose, jasmine, and neroli together. And that sternum area over the belly, take it right up and up to my throat, and then layer jasmine over the throat as well. I love jasmine to support my throat center. I just always have with Hawaiian sandalwood. So beautiful. And you could add manuka to that or tea tree to that. But what I want you to feel as we pass these sacred, really, this is like such, you're kissing the divine here, right? These oils are so sacred. As you smell them, and if you want to anoint yourself with these touch oils, it's safe because they're already diluted, right? Just let yourself drop into that place. And you know, I touched on, you know, your soul and creator have bigger plans for you. What are they whispering to you right now? Where do they want to take you? What are they reminding you of? Right? Can a few of you throw out some words or maybe memories that are coming up? And it can be memories from the future. Like, you know that future part of you that's singing you to it. Like, what are you feeling as you smell some of these sacred oils? I'm just going to stop for a minute and let you drop into it and share.
I just honestly feel like it's going to help so many lives come into their own individually and bring more creativity and more love to the world.
So beautiful. And you know, if we can feel that in the outward, you know, that this area out here, what does that say about you? Because the world holds a mirror up to us, right? So it's like, what's your part in that, you gorgeous creator? Yeah? Drop into that as well. Because you're all part of this. Yeah. Who else would like to share?
It's about, felt like coming into singing, dancing, the joy of
Singing and dancing.
Yeah.
Oh, and the joy of that.
of love.
Oh, gorgeous. So singing and dancing and the joy of that and that expression of love is what Antonella said. That's so beautiful. And can you feel in a certain part of your body?
Yeah, swirling.
Yeah. So around the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What about for you, Adam? What would you like to share on those beautiful oils?
One thing I was just inspired to share about was something that I really learned about flowers, and I love to look at the plants and how our ancestors used to look at them. And obviously with flowers, we've got all these different colours. And our ancestors actually used to link each colour to a different planet and a different day. So your white flowers, so that would be our jasmines, our nerolis, our Roman camemiles, were associated with the moon. And when we think about them, how do we feel? It's that real gentleness and that real magic in that type of way. So we go into Tuesday, and those are the red flowers. And we don't probably, ginger has a red flower to it. I don't think we have a red flower in oil, but that's
What
Mars.
about geranium?
Geranium
Geranium can be pink,
Pink.
can be red,
Red,
can be rose
Rose
oil.
or rose oil, I think, is pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, ginger, you do get that firing. So Mars is about that power and that type of thing. One of my favourites is we go to Wednesday, which is the day sacred to Mercury, and that's yellow flowers. Now, that of course, ylang-ylang. Now, a lot of the time we think of ylang-ylang as being an aphrodisiac and very seductive. But one of the most powerful things that I'm always making sure people pop a bit of ylang-ylang in a sleep blend, and you notice it's always popped in there. Now, if we're meant to go to sleep, why is there an aphrodisiac oil in there? The reason being because it calms the mind. And so who tries to get to sleep at night? And it's this that keeps you up. So ylang-ylang is really, really good. So if there's any Geminis here or Virgos here, you know, our minds are constantly going. And so ylang-ylang is great for us to calm down.
And you know what? The yellow flowers, we have blue tansy, right? It's the chamazoline that triggers that beautiful blue that we have in her, but actually it's a yellow flower, right? So the manuka,
Yep.
right?
We've got even helichrysum.
Helichrysum, absolutely, yeah. Anyway, it's yummy what you said. I love that. So what else?
Yeah,
What do we have Thursday?
Thursday is devoted to Jupiter, and it's purple. So Jupiter is the largest planet. And one amazing thing about Jupiter, we have to be very grateful for Jupiter, because if Jupiter wasn't behind us, we'd actually be sucked into the sun. It's a gravitational pull. There you go.
Isn't that great to know? Gratitude, right?
Yeah, gratitude. But Jupiter is about that expansion. And so what do we have that's purple in flowers? Lavender. Calming and relaxing. And you know, it's not just calming and relaxing, but when we relax, it allows us to open up. Now, depending on if you're Vanessa and call it the duvet of the aromatherapy world, or me that calls it the wine, or the alcohol of the aromatherapy world, either way, it opens us up to more as we relax. And how often do we have a fixed destination and a way it must be, and we get really stuck on that? You know, as we get older and older, we start to work out the world and we've got it all right. And so lavender, as well as clary sage. Clary sage is what I love.
Can I put these three together?
Yeah, give me a blend. I'm sorry.
And clary, so lavender, ylang ylang, and clary sage. I love these three. For my moon time, but also for sleep time, really beautiful. And even just morning aromatic dressing to give me a nice little lift and feel good and all cheeky about myself again. Go for it.
And that would be great on Wednesday night because it'll take me to Thursday because I'm a correspondence nerd.
Oh, I like that. Okay, let's go.
So there we go. So on to Friday.
Yes.
Is Freya or Venus, the goddesses of love. So this is your rose, this is the geranium, this is your heart ones. You know, and when you think about the days and how we've gone through the journey of the week, think about Monday. Who feels like going to work on Monday? No. The moon is all about relaxing and getting into it. But then, okay, by Tuesday we're off and going. Mars is all about action. By Wednesday we're coming up with ideas and that. By Thursday these ideas are growing. And what are we thinking about by the weekend? Or Friday? Pleasure, joy. And that's what geranium brings in. That's what rose brings in that type of way.
Okay, I wanted to show you one.
Yeah.
Geranium, Hawaiian sandalwood, and whisper. Oh, listen to that melody. So you could put around 10 mils of the fractionated coconut oil into your aromatic dressing bowl, and the whisper, just to remind you, is already suspended in fractionated coconut oil, but you have your rose, jasmine, ylang ylang, sandalwoods in here as well, vanilla absolute, cacao absolute. So you could do 3 drops of that baby in there. And then 2 drops of Hawaiian sandalwood. And I personally would just do 1 drop of geranium because she's quite strong and I love that. And this is beautiful to support for men and women, the hormonal waves, the mood waves. It's great for the skin. They're all great skin oils. They're beautiful and calming and soothing as well. But I really love how the 3 of these just help the heart to just go pop, pop, pop. And I love the Hawaiian sandalwood in this because, like, for me, the trees are that absolute beautiful alignment with the divine. And I feel that connection to the divine and deeply, deeply connected to my beautiful Earth Mama. Right? And just so that connection with the goddess, with like Heavenly Father, straight into my heart. And then I will often just go out and just let the sun just wash over me. And at night, I just take her in this way with the moon. Just right here, straight through my ajna, and just let my heart open and my womb center open and just to relax. And I just take a bath under her. And these 3 oils are so beautiful and supportive for those waves of emotions that we ride day in and day out, right? We're here as human beings. And you've all heard, you know, we're human beings, not human doings, but the reality is we do a lot. We do. So for me, this blend helps to bring us back into our beingness. And geranium's particularly beautiful for a wounded heart, the anger, self-reclamation, even just really despising ourselves, being hard on ourselves. And she helps to open the heart. So I love working with geranium in this way as well as hormonal support and just quietening everything. I think you just took me somewhere, didn't you? And I was like, oh, I'm going to blend.
Get her out there.
Okay.
But bringing in, we will get to Saturday and Sunday eventually. bringing in, we've talked a lot about the flowers, and we'll continue on the flowers eventually. But the flowers are great for that heart, but bringing that in with the wood is a really nice thing. Because like Vanessa said, we look at how high the trees go, but remember that half of what that tree is down in the ground. So another one, geranium for me, when I got that, I knew it was a heart essential oil, and I grabbed it out of that little purple bottle, and I went, oh, and I did not like it at all. So it's definitely an oil of trust. And I think a really nice one to actually pop that with is cedarwood. Cedarwood is known as an oil of community, for being comfortable and standing in our own when we're around people. And how often do we feel, what are you looking for, Geranium?
It's over here.
No, we've got another one. We're going to show it to you together so that you're getting a sense of the blends. Part of blending.
Exactly. A lot of the time, we have this kind of, I find this challenge between who are we in a group, how do we lose ourselves with that but still integrate? Do you know what I mean? And cedarwood gives you that strength, it's that big tree, but it does open you up. Like it opens up its branches, it opens you up to people, and having that geranium in there goes, I'm going to open up, I'm going to be okay with my heart being open.
Yeah, that's
so these can be a really nice combination when you're going out. Maybe you're going somewhere where you don't know too many people, or it's that party where you said you go along to a work colleague and you don't really know anyone. Or just anywhere where you're not feeling too comfortable. This can be a really great one.
Yeah.
Now you can.
We're actually, Wally finds another oil, we're wired to not want to be alone. So our natural instinct and inclination will always drive us toward community, toward creating community. That's why, do you ever notice sometimes something will come out of your mouth and you're like, what? Where did that come from? I don't actually believe it, but you're just like agreeing with that person in front of you, or maybe the family you grew up with, because you don't want to create isolation. Has anyone found that ever in their lives? Right? All their hands go up, right? Because we're naturally wired to stay connected, right? So that cedarwood, did you hear it? It's, that oil of communion. And of course, we're referring to Amanda Porter's amazing book, Enlightened Healing, The Emotions and Essential Oils, and you can take a deep dive with that. But I think it's really beautiful to acknowledge that when we work with the trees, think about a tree as well, right? This is what I love. When you look at trees, do you ever walk through the forest or the bush and your heart just melts? Have you looked up at that canopy above you? They stand tall and strong and solid in their trunk. Their roots buried deep, deep, deep in the earth. And what are the roots searching for? Water, nourishment, life force. And then upward to the heavens, giving thanks and gratitude. They nourish us, they give us clean air and oxygen, right? But then what's the next thing? They're often interlocking, they're often touching, right? They're together. They are so about community, family, soul family, touching, connection. They are, to me, trees, the reminder that we truly are one, that we are all connected, and that we are all together as one family, right? So when you work with the trees in this way, you'll start to notice a little bit of a shift happening. And the joy is it brings it here on the 3D plane, because we don't want to be out there all the time. It is beautiful hanging out there in meditation and prayer, but we need to bring it here. That's why we've incarnated, right? So the spirit of the oils will speak to you and say, dance with me, or create with me, or whatever it is they're whispering to you. They're inviting you to a new way of being. And that new way of being is your soul's yearning. It's going to reflect the true song of your heart. Yeah?
So one of my favourite teachers and authors called Ram Dass said he was walking through the forest one day and looking at each of the trees and trying to work out why that one had grown like that, and maybe one was reaching for the sun and the other one was burned from a fire, and he understood why each tree had grown to be the way it had. And then he went walking through the city after that and realised how we judge each person for being one way or growing another way. And he said, from now on I'm going to try and treat people like trees and try to understand why they grow the way they have, rather than judge them for what they've become. So there's a couple of really nice oils that can actually help us in these social situations. We will get back to Saturday and Sunday sometimes.
That's fine. We're in no rush. We're happy hanging out with Freya and Friday.
That really help with those social interactions, to just kind of drop those guards and drop those judgments beyond the heart. This is one that you might be a little bit excited about. It's lemon myrtle that we can all get at the
Who's
moment.
excited about lemon myrtle? Can I see a show of hands? There's nowhere near now. Who's excited? Yay! This is a gift, you guys.
So first of all, I think it's really important wherever we can to work with plants that are from our native area. So we're so blessed that another one has come in. And you know, in the Amalfi blend, that if you had the chance to get that one, it had Buddha wood, which is another one from Australia as well, which is absolutely amazing. Let me be naughty. Just to experience Buddha wood by itself.
We have some Buddha wood for you to smell. So Buddha wood is one of my favourite essential oils. Buddha wood, Fregonia. I've been praying for Buddha wood to come to doTERRA.
So they're working with it. It's in one of the children's. It's these type of things. But these ones, who's heard of Lemuria before? Some of you have. Good.
Great.
Yeah. So I think it's really important. You know, just to cap on the couple of people that haven't from me, we've all heard of Atlantis. And Atlantis was renowned for being this advanced society. They could manipulate nature. They had these great hierarchies, and there was these great priests and priestesses. And apparently, we were all one in life once upon a time. But the Lemurians were very, very different. They were very more community-based. Their landmass was said to be in the southern hemisphere, and that Lemurian energy has always existed around here. If we look at cultures in the south of our planet, what do we see through Africa? It's very tribal and communal. South America, how important is family there and that type of thing as well. Even in Australia, even though white settlers came here, we've got that mateship. And what do we do when someone gets a bit too high for their britches? Tall poppy syndrome. We don't like that. And when we look at what's happening in the world at the moment, where, you know, in places like America, you can be who you want to be. Lemurian energy is like, we all have something to offer. And so what happens with lemon myrtle and with Buddha wood, they really help us to drop that judgment and to embrace people and to have that equality. So one of the other oils, and I'll get back to lemon myrtle a little bit more, that we've just brought in, which comes from India, which has still got a Lemurian energy about it, is turmeric. Now these, both turmeric and lemon myrtle, although very, very different, I find work really nicely with the solar plexus chakra, our power center. That when it's overactive, we try and assert our power on other people. When it's underactive, we allow others to assert it on us. But we know what turmeric does to the body, calms everything down. And often what it does to the body, it does metaphysically and spiritually as well. Turmeric calms relationships, lets go of tensions, really good for getting rid of discrimination, different things like that.
What's a beautiful crystal to work with turmeric, Adam?
With turmeric, I would really use a nice, soft, like a yellow opal. So opals have got that playful kind of energy and that type of thing, so that can be really nice.
Gorgeous.
And even with the lemon myrtle, there's a bit of a rarer crystal called golden dandra. Again, a real soft, angelic kind of yellow. So these real soft yellows for soothing relationships and that type of thing. So I think these will be really nice. Try blending them with the geranium and the cedarwood. It's a triplet. Whether it be just preparing to go out or whether it be, you know, just at home and preparing after, maybe sometimes, you know, we can't always be, we may not judge everyone in life, but sometimes other people's judgments affect us at the end of the day. And so just allowing those oils to kind of bring you back and to release any of that judgment that's being thrown at you. And turmeric is really nice for that.
And self-judgment.
Yeah.
Like I've been working with turmeric a lot around how hard I am on myself. And it's been really beautiful to witness. And on one level it's brought it out even more, to be totally honest with you. Like I've had this real, like turned up the wattage on going almost back into my old habit of low self-worth, you know, not feeling good enough, not feeling I'm enough, even feeling like, oh, why would anyone want to hear from me? You know, the really old patterns. And I've noticed it coming up, and I felt the pain in it, you know. So I've been working with turmeric and green mandarin and pink pepper and yarrow pom. And I've actually been just putting them in a capsule and just asking for their blessings. And I honestly believe we don't actually have to know all of the science of what they're doing and not doing, Because our bodies are so intelligent. Our body knows how to bring itself back to its natural state. The essential oils, crystals, any, can we say plant medicine, gifts of the earth, anything that Mother Earth gives us has a natural way, it's part of its song, it's part of its melody, to weave its way into the essence of who we are, to dance with that and to help bring that out. And at the same time, though, it's going to bring out the dense stuff, the stuff that doesn't serve us, right? So when we say, okay, I'm ready to dissolve this, I'm ready to be done with it, you better be ready, right? And I've really loved working with my beautiful Frankie boy during this time, because it has been a bit painful. I've been using lots of frankincense and rose, and just letting myself hear that whisper again of, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. And as we remember this too shall pass, doesn't it just, I mean, I don't know, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but does that put into a bit of perspective for you? Because nothing lasts forever, right? Because we're dynamic and ever changing. And as we continue to be open to evolving, right, I feel like Mother Earth will show up in a really special way. And that's why these amazing oils have actually come to doTERRA. We're ready for them. We're ready for these vibrations. Rose is the highest vibration in all of the aromatherapy kingdom, is what everyone says, right? She's off the Richter scale. She said, but what about if you just tuned into yourself and felt what was off the Richter scale for you? What's the highest vibration for you right now? And if that's lemon, let it be lemon, right? Don't worry about who's measuring what and saying what to. Tune into you and listen to your intuition. And I love how Frankie Boy reminds us of that. He reminds us that the truth of who you are is found in here. It's found within. You don't need to search outside. He reminds us that we are divine beings. That we're here to love and to be loved. And each of us has our own way of delivering that to the world, right? So he reminds us that who you are actually is enough. Okay?
So what I love about the saying this too will pass, is it has two sides to it. It means that any troubles or any struggles that you're having, they will pass. But it also means that all the good times will pass as well, and not to take anything for granted.
Yes.
And a lot of the time, the only thing that we can rely on is change. And we're always seeking balance in life and trying to get it all, so we're kind of standing on our tippy toes and not moving. But if you look at nature, does nature ever stand still? Balance is about ebb and flow, whether it be the ocean or whether it be the seasons. It's about there's a time for stillness and a time for action. A tree doesn't grow exactly at the same rate every single day. It'll slow down at winter and speed up in that type of thing as well.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we can know amidst that change is we always have choices on how we react to that change. And one oil that I think is one in the collection that doesn't get the justice it deserves is Litsia.
Oh, such a beautiful oil.
Now we're so blessed to have Litsia, and not every country does have Litsia, and Litsia actually comes from a purple berry. And so again, when we're talking about colours, purple is that real spiritual colour, it's that crown chakra.
Which day was purple?
Thursday.
Oh, that was Thursday.
Yeah, you're
So
lucky.
Thursday day.
Thursday day, yeah. Although the flowers and the plants are yellow, so just to throw you out. Nature's more complex, that's alright. But this one, Litsia, what I've found is whereas mandarine is the child, Litsia is the teenager. And Litsia is the oil of whatever.
And they throw a tantrum.
Yeah, that kind of like, teenagers have that reckless abandon. They don't care. And how often do we get stuck as adults in that? And we just need to kind of have a bit more fun. Now, we're always talking about love and light. Love and light, that's the whole spiritual thing. But I want to add something to that. It's love, it's light, and it's laughter. Because nothing can have power over you if you can laugh at it. Think about someone who's giving you a hard time. If you can laugh it off, that has no power over you. Anything type of thing. And Lencia reminds us that when we're being that purple with that kind of teenage energy, that the more joy and the more laughter we can have in our lives, then it doesn't matter. Because really, what's the date today? The 1st of November. Can anyone tell me what they were worried about on the 1st of November 2017?
Probably recognizing.
Good call.
Sorry.
No, good call. No. Whatever. But a lot of the time, in that moment, we worry about that and we waste away days. And Lencia is a lovely one to bring in and go, let's have some fun, let's laugh at that. We'll get through it. We'll find a way to find the money to pay that phone bill. I've been behind on so many bills throughout my life at different times. I haven't died from any of them. Some of them are really great. So Lencia is a really nice one to bring in. What would you mix it with? Is that what you're working on? Or are you going to
No, I've got something else. I did the most beautiful Lecia blend the other day, and I thought I've got to write it down and share it, and I didn't. But I did tricky stuff. I blended it with some herbs. So I did Lecia, wild orange, rosemary, basil, and eucalyptus. I just remembered it. So that was in the diffuser. It wasn't an aromatic dressing. And I tell you what, those melodies as they came off during the day were phenomenal. And I put it down in our office downstairs. And it was fantastic. I love rosemary and basil for brain power and eucalyptus to keep me energized with them. But that Lecia just added a whole new dimension with those 5 oils. So can we move on for a second?
Yeah.
So as Adam was talking about joy and that Lecia brings that, I dropped into some of the things that bring me joy. And it's actually the citrus and the spices together. Because I go into cacao lands then, right? I'm like making raw chocolate and I'm putting cardamom and cinnamon and wild orange. Or in the diffuser, what I really love is citrus bliss, cardamom, and the cinnamon bark. So this is a beautiful melody to open the heart in a loving gesture of let's dance. Let's be present right here, right now, and totally in our joy for life, right? These oils allow us to be present. Cardamom is an unsung hero for lung support and chest support. Total unsung hero. Same with cedarwood, you guys, right? So the cardamom in here, like the cinnamon and the ylang-ylang we talked about earlier, rose, jasmine, neroli, they are as well, has beautiful aphrodisiacal qualities. And when we work with that thread coming in with the aphrodisiacs, what they do is they actually open our heart, but they open our being to receive, to relax and receive. So we drop out of here on I'm not worthy, I don't deserve it, to here. I am that I am. Right? So the cinnamon and the cardamom lifted with lots and lots of kisses from citrus bliss is a joy in the diffuser. It's like listening to a song that you love and you can't help dancing. Right? That's what this beautiful trio is like. Yeah? Now, if you wanted to aromatically dress in this, you need to really, really go easy on the cinnamon bark because it's an aphrodisiac in all ways and it'll send you tingling. So please take care with the heat in cinnamon. It's a hot oil. So please keep it away from thin membranes. It's not one you want to be putting on your pits. Take care of the webbings of your fingers and toes. You know, guys, you know how we always say never put them in your eyes, take care of your nasal cavity, your lips, never in your ears, take care of your pits and your bits. There's a reason we repeat that, right? So respect the potency of this incredible gift that doTERRA has given us. They are by far, and we talk about this a lot, the most potent and cleanest essential oils we've ever worked with. And we work with a lot of essential oils, right? But like when you dance with them, respect them. If you want to tango, get ready to tango. They'll take you there, right? They'll even give you that dip, okay? But stay present. Stay present, be mindful as you blend, whether that's in your aromatic dressing, or you might be making yourself a pure fume and doing a roller bottle of it, or you might be putting it in the diffuser, right? I just want to go to food for a second, because there's nothing more aphrodisiacal to me than a mouthgasm. So if you were to put this in cacao and make a raw chocolate, you could use those three, right? You could just not use the citrus bliss and use wild orange or tangerine or the green or the red mandarin, right? But you could also put them in a cacao elixir. With some coconut milk or any nut milks you make, a little bit of virgin coconut oil, right? I love putting the essential oils on the fat, on the coconut oil, and then mixing that through. So what you do is you just gently heat the milk on a stove, right? Just let it warm up, and then turn off the heat, add a little bit of cacao to it, depending how strong you like it, right? I like things more bitter than sweet. And these essential oils, the wild orange, so I've taken out the citrus bliss, the wild orange to flavour it with the cardamom and cinnamon, just a drop of each in that beautiful coconut oil. And you can add, a sweetener if you want, but those three will act as your false sweeteners. They will lift it, they'll bring it to light, they'll open your heart, they'll have your belly going, gimme, 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 and your taste buds will be dancing before you even put it onto your lips, right? And just let yourself have a sacred moment with it. So turn off the heat, add the essential oils, gently stir them through if you need sweetener, then add your cacao and gently stir it through, right? And then just have a beautiful succulent elixir straight from Mother Earth. Cacao works with the heart, the physical heart. It also works with the energetic heart, right? That's why, ladies, it works on supporting us on lots of levels, but anyway, that's not this class. But I just want to say, that's why we often crave chocolate during our moon time, whether it's ovulation or our actual moon bleed. It's high in magnesium, it relaxes our muscles and works really beautifully. When you use the essential oils, ask your body what it needs, your mind, your heart, your emotions, whatever it is, the sacred temple, tune in, and then speak to the essential oils. Have a chat to them. Do you think I'm crazy saying this? Because this is plant medicine. Just ask for their gifts to come out. Or just simply say, I really, really need right now. Can we dance this together? Can you just sweep me away for a moment? Right? Because this is God's grace in a bottle, or Goddess's grace in a bottle. It's mana from the gods and goddesses. Yeah?
When it comes to cooking and moon bleeds, I'm really bad.
You're good with Saturday and Sunday. Yeah.
And really bad segues. Like, I wanted to ask you about holiday joy, because the blend you were talking about before with the wild orange, the cinnamon, and the cardamom, are three of the oils that are in holiday joy.
I really love holiday joy. I do call it Christmas in a bottle. It's succulent. This one here is, you can pass it around, babe. Paul's got another one, he'll pass it around so you guys can be smelling that as well. This one here, for me, is quite enlivening. So it relaxes and calms and soothes me, but it just gives me like a new lease on life. And it's really interesting, my sister Chantal has used this for the last 12 months. She keeps saying, do you have any stashes of holiday joy? I can't get enough of holiday joy, right? So the oils take us on a journey. I just want to, I would love to take you on a journey. Are you open to enter the fae realm with me, the fairy tale world? So, once upon a time, a long time ago, there was a young girl. And she decided, for whatever reason, that she wasn't going to believe in herself anymore. That she was going to give up on herself. And her little brother each day would just give her a little tug and a little nudge. And each day got a little harder and a little deeper with the nudge. And she couldn't feel anything. because she decided that she wasn't going to be present anymore. And after many trials and many errors, her little brother gave up as well. He gave up on trying to show her that life was a joy. So one day, she's walking down the hallway of her life, and she sees her little brother curled up in a little ball, and he's weeping, and his whole body is trembling with the force of the emotion running through him. And her body quivers. And for the first time in a long time, she feels something. And the universe, being awake and conscious, sparks with the recognition that something in her is awoken. And so it flows into that little space that was created in her. And it flows up through her, and it wraps itself around her heart very gently and begins to warm her heart. And bit by bit, the walls that she built around her heart begin to dissolve. And she realizes that her brother was a reflection of her. And she realizes and remembers that because we are all one, she was in part responsible for that. So she bends down and she takes his tiny hands in hers and she breathes on his hands, and his little eyes open and they're wet with tears. And she looks deep into his soul and she says, I love you. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for this sacrifice you made, for becoming so dense in your energy so that I could remember the truth of who I am. And together they rise and they take a deep breath, and before they know it, they smile and they begin to giggle, and their laughter shudders through them. And they can't help it. The laughter is waving and waving right through every single cell of their body. And their frequency is changing, and they step outside and they see all of the colours and all of the majesty of the earth. And they throw themselves upon the earth and they roll down that grassy hill and they lay on their backs and look up to the sky. And realize that they, like the sky, are infinitesimal in their love and their joy and their ability to create and to shine a light upon the world. Holiday Joy has so many of the essential oils that bring us back to that point. The remembering can happen at any time. And we have many gifts that take us back into that space. And this is just one of them.
One of the oils that we find in Holiday Joy that we only find as a single is nutmeg. Now nutmeg, believe it or not, is a slight hallucinogenic. Now don't go hiding it from the kids, because if they smoke it they'll be fine. But even having a bit of nutmeg on milk before you go to bed at night will help to elicit more intense dreams. Yeah. So nutmeg is an oil of dreams. It helps us to sleep at night and be open to our dreams, but also during the day it can be really nice as well. So Holiday Joy can be a really nice one to even have going at night. And what I would pair that with, if you were looking for something a little bit epic in the dream department, would be juniper berry. So juniper berry, I don't know, who's put that on their feet at night? Has anyone tried it? Give it a whirl tonight. Now, they recommend it for night terrors for children, but I find for me it brings really vivid and opens up different realms.
So that's the
of
lucid dreaming realm. Yeah.
So there's different oils, black pepper, juniper berry, and patchouli, mainly. I call the oils of the darkness. They help us go into those places where we don't know. Now, often we think, oh, there's the light, that's the good, and the darkness is the bad.
No.
But the darkness is just that is unknown. That's where all the good stuff is. The light is what we already see and it's what we already know. But the darkness is where all the goodness is. This is where the sun's not hitting at that point in time, where all the secrets are.
And the unknown is that space, right? It's that infinite space where we can create from the infinite realm of possibilities.
So juniper berry is an amazing one in your dreams to help bring out new things, to bring out new emotions, to bring out things that maybe need to be healed with some of the other essential oils.
Yeah.
But it's a really amazing one to work with. And that one being a blue berry is associated with Saturday. See how I did this? So Saturday is associated with Saturn. So Saturn, when we look at Saturn, it has the rings around it. It's about constriction, they often say. But I like to think of it as discipline. Going into those, let's get a bit more structure in our lives and that type of thing as well. So Saturn normally doesn't have flowers. You will occasionally get a blue flower in nature, but very, very rarely. A purple flower is Jupiter, but blue is sacred to Saturn. So normally non-flowering plants are sacred to Saturn. So that plant still has its magic, it just doesn't show it to the world. It brings it in. Sometimes we need to be quiet and bring things in before we know what we need to show out to the world as well.
Love it.
And Sunday?
Sunday.
Orange.
Oh!
To do with the sun.
We just had a little bit of wild orange with that cardamom and...
Yeah, so your citruses, a lot of your orange citruses are really, really great to use around on the Sunday. That is, and if you think about it, Saturday, traditionally, it's changing a little bit now with 7-day training, but Saturday was chore day, wasn't it? We'd get everything done, and then what do we do on a Sunday? Leisure and relax and that type of thing. So it's a beautiful day to bring in the citrus oils on that day. So bring in your wild orange, bring in...
Tangerine and spearmint. Because why not?
Why not? Yes.
Why not bring in the joy?
Now, one of the things that not upsets me, but I think sometimes people just lump all the citruses together and go, just grab a citrus.
No.
But just like people, just grab all the Geminis, they're all the same.
He's a Gemini, in case
They're
you
all
know.
yeah. But each of them has a little bit of a different trait about them. So, just to give you a few little kind of offshoots, mandarin, remember, is a child of the family. You've then got grapefruit, which has that pink inside. It's very much about honouring yourself, and it's a great self-esteem one, and great for getting rid of not honouring your body. Now, tangerine, in China for a long, long time, has been used as the oil. It was used to protect you and the home when you went travelling. Tangerine is an oil of curiosity, and so it really encourages you to go out there again and explore. What does the sun do when it shines on a plant?
Any takers?
Well, it helps it to grow and expand. So the citrus is about different ways of expanding. Now, I made that too tricky.
No, like, don't bring us back to Earth. We want to stay in this life with you guys.
So tangerine is a really nice one for getting out there. Curiosity. How much have we lost our curiosity in life? Kids, again, they're in everything because they're bloody curious about it type of thing. So we've also had some really special oils come out recently. Who got the clementine? Did anyone get the clementine?
Oh, it's still my heart.
So-
Can you believe Paul said, just smells like another citrus, babe? Tell him about oh yeah, well, I don't know about that. Tell him about clementine, baby.
So clementine, I've got to remember now, it's a breed between a wild orange and I think it's a mandarin. Mandarin, yes. So you've got the joy of the wild orange and that childlike energy of the mandarin, finding joy in the moment.
Don't you love that? Who wants Clemmy baby now?
So whereas the others like Tangerine is going, let's go out into the future and let's explore. Clementine goes, no, hey, right here. So sometimes we need to look in the future. Sometimes we're too much worried about the moment, and that tangerine will take us out. But sometimes we're dreaming about what will happen at Christmas and what will I do on the summer holidays. And we forget that right now there's joy, and that's where clementine is really good.
Yeah.
Now another great citrus that comes in greatly is kumquat.
Kumquat. I so knew you were going to say that. That was just
And if anyone can say kumquat 10 times really fast quickly, they can have Vanessa's rose. Because my best is 8. It'll be enough for a quarter. Where are we? There. So kumquat, what do we know about kumquat, the fruit? What's different about kumquat?
Bitter fruit?
Bitter on the outside, and the rind is sweet. It's opposite. It's unexpected. So kumquat is a really great oil for finding prosperity, feeling that joy in the unexpected. So it's a great one. I say golden opportunities. That things aren't always as they seem. To look at the opposite. So that's where the gold is sometimes, by looking in a different perspective.
So kumquat is absolutely delicious with Siberian fir, Douglas fir, and a little kiss of lemon. That's a really yummy dance. Or you can do kumquat with litsea, cedarwood, and a little snuggle from lavender. It's very yummy. You have to have more yumminess in your life, you guys, right? So again, as we're passing these around, be really mindful of just entering stillness for a moment and breath with them, and just asking, hey there, what you got for me? Or maybe you just want to take a moment to give thanks to that beautiful oil, right? Any questions? Or does anyone have anything they'd like to bring up, and we can use the last 10 minutes or so to create some yummy blends or co-create blends together? Close your eyes. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Feel your belly rise and your ribcage open and expand with the life force. And as you release, just let go with a ah. And again, full deep breath. Feel that belly rise and ribcage open and expand, and just introduce a short pause at the end of the in-breath. And one more, just because it feels so good. Deep breath in. Now, with your eyes closed, imagine yourself as you choose to be. How do you look? How do you feel? How do you tread this sacred earth? Just place your hand over your heart and breathe in that vision of you into your heart space. And I'd like you to become aware of a blend or 3 essential oils walking toward you to support you in the creation of bringing this vision of you to a reality. And trust that whatever comes is coming to you. And now just breathe that in. And release the breath. And now just bringing your awareness to something that you would like to call more deeply into your life. What would that be? Something you could enhance or really call in a powerful way. Could be abundance, stillness, health, deeper connection to your spiritual practice. Whatever it may be, just become aware of it. allow yourself to just expand a little more with the breath. And allow that trio of essential oils or a blend that's already created by doTERRA to just walk towards you to support that. You see, when we take a moment to be still and to turn inward, we discover that we have the answers we need. And you can do this for 1 or 2 minutes every day as a check-in, as a tune-in before you choose your oils you're going to diffuse or aromatically dress with. So take a nice deep breath. Feel your belly rise, your ribcage open and expand with the life force. Take a short pause. And when you're ready, release with a ah. And when you're ready, just open your eyes. Notice how you feel. Does anyone want to share their oils or blends that came through and what it was that you wanted to call in? And this will help each other.
I can't even imagine what this would smell like, but the three was Litsea, lime and sandalwood.
Oh, yum. Should we pass that around? That's beautiful. Love it. What else? Litsea, lime and sandalwood, if you didn't hear that. Hawaiian sandalwood or the Indian sandalwood? It just said sandalwood, yeah. Perfect.
I had Litsea too, but I had it with geranium and Frankie.
Litsea, geranium and frankincense. Yummy.
Litsea, cypress and lemon.
Litsea, cypress and lemon. Litsea's coming.
I also had Litsea.
Did you have Litsea too? What did you have?
Litsea, rose and ylang ylang.
Oh, yum.
Isn't it? Manifesting.
You went what?
No, I was somewhere else.
Oh, you just went. That's great.
Didn't we do 2?
Yeah, we did.
can too.
We did too. What did you have some blends or oils for you, Bella?
It's interesting because it was the Holiday Joy,
Yes.
Litsea, and the Kumquat.
Holiday Joy, Litsea and Kumquat. You for your first
Yeah.
one?
And the second one was tangerine, lemon, and magnolia.
Tangerine, lemon and magnolia. Mamma mia, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. That's perfect. Everything's perfect, isn't it? Did that feel good to empower yourselves to tune in? Does anyone else want to share? Did you want to share yours?
I had myrrh, Hawaiian sandalwood and frankincense.
Myrrh, Hawaiian sandalwood and frankincense. Yum!
And I think 2 of them.
Pardon?
I think 2 more, like 2 of them, then I'll have the 3.
Wow. Which ones don't you have?
Myrrh and sandalwood.
Great. So this month.
Yes, hopefully.
That can be your order this month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had some
Fantastic.
money too.
Yay!
Freebies.
Wow, fantastic.
I had a really
Yes.
Geranium, lavender, and magnolia.
Geranium, lavender, and magnolia. So 3 beautiful flowers for you. Gorgeous. Jonathan.
Blue tansy, lavender, and frankincense.
Blue tansy, lavender, and frankincense for Jonathan. Yum. What else?
I had strange. I had ylang ylang, pink pepper, easy air, and
Ylang ylang, pink pepper, easy air, and lemon. So you can take a pre-existing blend that doTERRA's created and blend that with other essential oils. Beautiful. That would be really yummy diffusing as well. Ooh. Okay, one more before we wrap up.
Yeah, I had Litsea, Hawaiian sandalwood and kumquat.
Litsea, Hawaiian sandalwood, and kumquat. Beautiful. And your hand went up. Go for
It's
it.
just saying it's the magnolia because the minute I smelled it, there's something that's in the back of my head that won't come forward, and that's just what's hitting me all night.
Wow.
Take some time. Magnolia takes her time. She's
Yeah, very
there for the
gentle.
long haul.
Yeah. Okay, how y'all feeling?
Beautiful.
Yeah? Okay, fabulous. Thank you so much for journeying this with us. Adam, thank you so much for being
you for
here
having
and anointing us in your wisdom. Don't you love his take on the oils? And
Definitely.
oh, it's so yummy. So we have more, yes, give him a clap.
Yeah.